What's up, guys? Anthony here, Special Analysis. Welcome to the video. I want to talk about channel trading. Now, some people use channels, some people don't. Essentially, support and resistance can be defined a few ways, right? It can be defined by something that runs horizontally, like any of these pivots I have plotted on the screen, or any of these prior highs and prior lows, or it can be defined either descending or ascending. Now, once you've defined a trend direction, really you can put a channel structure in play by simply using some of these marked off prior highs and prior lows. Now, a channel structure to have any validity to it, the founding trend line, or the trend line that establishes the channel structure, should have at least 3 or more touches, right? And 3 or more well-respected touches, not just like these random touches. So with that statement being made, ultimately, what are we looking for, right? Like we define this downtrend really nicely. We established it here. We retested it, retested it, retested it. I mean, retested this thing like a half a dozen times, holding really, really strong. But what makes this spot here the lowest risk to take a channel structure reversal? Now, here's what I see. Right? This is what I pointed out to my traders this morning. We were live. Like we were, this was 9 o'clock. We were already an hour into our session analyzing these 4 markets. And what I pointed out was, hey, see this line right here? This was previous support. In fact, this is what set the other side of the channel in form. So this is a pretty significant level here. Like it drove price all the way back up to retest the establishing trend line. We found support a whole bunch of times. We even closed below it and back above it. This, to me, is really important. Well, notice when price retests the channel structure, it also retests this prior low, which was once support and could now be considered resistance because we have closed below it, settled below it, and traveled fairly a decent way below it. Well, upon the retest right here, we retested an established channel high in an established downtrend at a prior area that was previously support and should now be considered resistance. Guys, if you are comfortable taking reversals, if you're a reversal trader, or that is one of the strategies that you employ, this here is about as low risk as it gets. Established downtrend at a channel top that's been tested at least a half a dozen times. Every time it's tested, price falls from it at a prior low that is now proven once support to now be resistance. Guys, you have quite a few layers here telling you that there's a fairly good chance that price likely falls from here. Well, where does price ultimately fall to? Well, we test this pivot, we test this prior low, we break through all of that, we test the lower channel structure and the prior day low, right? I mean, this is a substantial move on the Nasdaq from the channel structure and that prior low there all the way down here to the channel structure at the low of yesterday. 257 ticks. And I expressed this opportunity out loud to my clients, saying, hey, I like this channel structure. Hey, I like the fact that we're testing a known area of proven reversal. Also, at the same time, testing a prior low that was previously dictated as support and now should be dictated as resistance. It probably doesn't get any lower risk than this. We have defined 2 very specific reasons why price should in fact reverse here. And reverse to where? Well, we have this pivot here that's proven to be support until proven otherwise. So this would be an ideal place to take our first profit, right? We have a little prior low here. And then we have the prior day low in conjunction with the lower channel structure. Guys, if somebody handed this to you out loud and said, listen, this is what I see, and these are all the reasons why I believe X, Y, and Z is about to happen and how it could be played. Would that be valuable to you? I don't know. Maybe it would be, maybe it wouldn't be. 250 ticks, low risk inside of, what is that, 39, 40 minutes? Like, that should pay all your bills for the month with a handful of contracts. Like, that's a substantial move, very calculated. I mean, you were literally focused on this tiny little candle here to enter the market. Look how small that candle is. Right? Nice little reversal setup right here. This tiny little candle. The candle closes right here. Right? Closes at 512. And your risk is right on top of that at about 516, 515, a few ticks overhead. I mean, we're talking about a tiny, tiny, tiny little risk here. I will even map it out for you so you can see just how small of a risk versus how large of a reward. Let's call it 20 ticks, right? Let's call it 20 ticks. I'll be generous. And where do we meet the channel structure? Right? We meet the channel structure right there. Okay? 247 ticks. I'm sorry, I calculated it wrong. 247 ticks, a 12.35 to 1 risk-reward ratio. 20 tick risk, nearly 250 tick opportunity. If somebody told you this is a very low risk, high probable reversal area in real time at 9:06 in the morning on Wednesday, February 21st, 2024, would that have been valuable to you? Whether you chose to act upon it or not, that's ultimately up to you. I'm not here to dictate your trades to you. I'm simply here to analyze the market from my experience, let you know what could probably or possibly work, and also let you know what could probably or possibly be the risk associated with it. All right? My direct interpretation was there's a high chance we reverse off of here. We have a prior low, which should now be resistance. We have a proven channel structure. We should consider profit taking at this pivot because it has proven to be support. And if we break below the pivot, there's a good chance we test the prior day low and the bottom portion of the channel structure. Guys, again, if this could be valuable to you, then perhaps you'd like to trade live with me. If this isn't valuable information to you and you've watched the video for this long, clearly you have nothing better to do with your time, no offense. But if you like this content, if you enjoy this content, whether you decide you want to trade with me or not, if you could like the video, subscribe to the channel, it would help my efforts in trying to teach traders all the mistakes that I have made in my trading career. And for those who seek guidance through interpretation of price action, volume, full boat analysis that would like to trade live with me, I am live every morning from 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. My tools and analysis are available to you through the closing bell. Guys, as always, I appreciate your time. God bless. I'll see you in the next video, and I hope you're doing well.